Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to tackle a problem that's crippling your potential: laziness. But we're not going to sugarcoat it. If you're feeling lazy, it's not because you're broken. It's because you failed to build a system that forces you to show up every single day. Laziness is just an excuse for not having a solid system in place. And guess what? If you don't have a system, you're just another person waiting for life to hand you success. Newsflash, it won't. Laziness is a word we throw around too lightly, but let me tell you, laziness is not just a lack of effort. It's a reflection of something much deeper, something that's going on in your mind, your habits, and your environment. We've all been there, those days when we just can't seem to get out of bed or push forward, no matter how much we know we should. But the real question isn't why you're lazy. The real question is, why is it so easy for you to be lazy? What's the root cause? Why is it so comfortable to procrastinate and avoid the very things that would lead to your success? Let me break it down for you. Laziness is born from a lack of purpose and a lack of structure. When you don't have a clear, burning reason to get up and act, when you don't have a defined goal or vision, laziness takes root. You start to feel like everything is a drag. You begin to drag your feet because deep down, you haven't committed yourself to anything meaningful. Without purpose, every task feels like a chore, and every moment of effort feels like a battle you're bound to lose. But here's the catch: laziness is not a flaw of character, it's a result of mismanagement. You haven't taken the time to organize your life, your goals, or your mindset. Your lack of structure feeds the laziness monster. Think about it. When you don't have a roadmap to your success, you're wandering aimlessly. And that feels uncomfortable, doesn't it? So you take the easy way out. Instead of pushing yourself through the discomfort of action, you stay stuck in the comfort of inaction. It's easier, it's painless, and that's the trap. Laziness is also a defense mechanism. You've failed before. Maybe you've tried and failed over and over, and now your brain is telling you, don't bother. Why try again? But I'm here to tell you that failure is not a reason to stop. Failure is a lesson in disguise. It's a wake-up call. Laziness, though, convinces you that failure means you're not capable, that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed. And you know what? The more you believe that lie, the easier it is to remain lazy. This cycle of laziness is not something that magically goes away. It's not a problem that's fixed by watching a motivational video or hearing a few inspiring words. Laziness is a mindset, and until you change that mindset, you'll keep finding ways to avoid hard work. It's about addressing the underlying issue. You're not taking responsibility for your actions and your future. You're sitting back, waiting for something to change. But let me tell you something, nothing will change unless you take action. You have the power to break this cycle, but it begins with one simple shift. You must take responsibility. Responsibility for your actions, for your lack of progress, and for your success. Laziness doesn't stand a chance when you start owning your future, when you begin recognizing that the power to change is always within you. You can stop being lazy, but it requires that you start building systems, setting goals, and creating structure. You have to fight back against the belief that you're just going to fail again. You have to stop believing that you can coast by without putting in the work. That's the real battle, the battle inside your mind. The moment you take responsibility and build the systems that force you into action, that's the moment you break free from laziness forever. Laziness isn't your destiny. It's a temporary state of mind, a hurdle, a challenge you can overcome. And the first step is realizing that you're in control of your own fate. The moment you start owning that control is the moment laziness loses its grip on you. And that, my friends, is when you become unstoppable. Let me tell you something that most people don't understand: a system is power. It's not some fluffy concept that people throw around to sound smart. A system is the thing that will turn your dreams into reality. You can't rely on motivation or hope for success. You need something concrete, something you can count on every day. That's where the power of a system comes in. When you build a system that works, it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter if you're tired or frustrated or struggling. The system forces you to show up, to get things done, and to move closer to your goals. You see, a system doesn't care about your emotions. It doesn't care if you're feeling motivated or not. It doesn't care if you're in a bad mood or if life's throwing obstacles your way. A system doesn't ask for permission, it just operates, it just works. And that's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. The successful don't rely on fleeting motivation. They rely on the system they've built. They've created a structure that moves them forward, no matter what's going on in their lives. When you don't have a system, you're flying blind. You're hoping for something to happen, but you're not putting in the consistent effort that guarantees results. Think about it. Every successful person you know, whether it's in business, health, relationships, or any other area of life, they all have a system. They don't wake up and wonder what they're going to do today. They don't sit around hoping for inspiration to strike. No, they wake up and their system tells them exactly what to do. Their system takes the guesswork out of the equation. It makes them consistent. It makes them relentless. It makes them unstoppable. The beauty of a system is that it doesn't require willpower. Willpower is fleeting. It's unreliable. One day you'll feel like working, and the next day you won't. But a system is built on habit and structure, and habits don't rely on how you feel. Habits become ingrained. They become automatic. When you have a system, you don't have to waste energy deciding whether or not you're going to do something. You just do it. The power of a system is that it frees you from the mental struggle of trying to motivate yourself every day. It eliminates the decision-making process that often leaves you stuck, paralyzed by indecision or fear. The system works for you even when you don't feel like working. And here's the most important thing: a system brings results. The problem most people face is that they want results, but they don't understand that results come from consistent, structured action. You're not going to build a great body by working out once in a while. You're not going to build a thriving business by working for an hour here and there. Success requires a routine, a commitment, and a plan that tells you exactly what to do and when to do it. The system isn't just about doing things, it's about doing the right things at the right time. It's about creating momentum that doesn't stop. When you have a system, your life becomes a series of intentional, strategic moves that keep you moving forward, no matter what obstacles come your way. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking: I don't have time to build a system. Well, let me tell you, that's the problem. You don't have time because you don't have a system. You're scrambling from one task to another, reacting to everything, and wondering why you can't get ahead. When you don't have a system, you waste time. You waste energy. You waste effort. But when you build a system, it maximizes your time and energy. It tells you exactly what to focus on, and more importantly, what to ignore. It removes distractions and forces you to do the things that matter. If you want more time, you need a system that allows you to prioritize and execute efficiently. A system also gives you clarity. Without one, you're like a ship lost at sea going nowhere, unsure of which direction to go. But with a system, you've got a map, a compass, and a clear destination. You know where you're headed, and you know exactly how to get there. Clarity is power. And when you have clarity, you make better decisions, you take better actions, and you get better results. A system keeps you on track, reminding you daily of what needs to be done and pushing you toward your goals with precision. The most successful people aren't waiting around for luck or for the perfect opportunity. They've already built the system that will take them where they want to go. You can do the same. You have to start by designing your system. It's up to you to decide what it looks like, what it consists of, and how you'll follow it. But once you do, you'll find that you don't have to rely on willpower, you don't have to hope for motivation, and you don't have to depend on inspiration. The system will carry you forward. And when you have that system in place, when you're executing it consistently, you will be unstoppable. The power of a system will lead you to success, and it will leave laziness in the dust. Designing your own system isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. You can't keep waiting for the right moment, for the stars to align, or for someone to hand you the blueprint to success. Success isn't something you find, it's something you create. And the only way to create it is by taking full responsibility for your path forward. If you're not designing your own system, you're allowing the world to design it for you. And trust me, the world will design a system of mediocrity, a system where you go through the motions, where you get by but never truly thrive. When I say design your own system, I'm talking about creating a framework that works for you, not anyone else, but you. This isn't about following someone else's steps. This is about you taking ownership of your future. You must first understand where you want to go. Without clarity, you'll be like a ship without a rudder, just drifting wherever the wind takes you. And that's not how winners operate. Winners know where they're going. They know exactly how they're going to get there, and they build a system that forces them to take the necessary steps day after day. You must understand that vision is the foundation of any system. If you don't have a vision, your system will fall apart. You can't design a system without a destination. Once you have clarity, the next step is creating a routine that forces you into action. This isn't some cute, feel-good morning ritual that you think is going to change your life. No, this is a routine that demands you show up and perform. It's a system that kicks your ass out of bed every morning, no matter how tired, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter how many excuses you come up with. And here's the hard truth: if you're waiting to feel motivated to build this routine, you'll never get started. Motivation is temporary. Your system needs to be stronger than your feelings, stronger than your excuses. It needs to force you to act, even when you don't want to. But designing your own system is about more than just creating habits. It's about building accountability into your life. You must build a system that checks your progress, holds you accountable, and forces you to face the truth about where you are. Are you doing the work? Are you hitting your targets? Or are you slacking off, hoping that something magical will happen to change your circumstances? That's the problem with relying on hope. It never works. Your system should demand results, and if you're not getting them, you need to adjust. Don't wait for permission to change your system. You must be willing to evolve it every single day. When one strategy isn't working, ditch it and try something else. Adapt, improve, refine, and keep moving forward. Your system isn't perfect from day one, but it gets stronger every time you make it better. A real system also needs discipline. You cannot design a system and expect it to work without discipline. Discipline is the muscle that makes your system function. You need discipline to stick with it when the excitement fades, when life gets tough, when you feel like giving up. When you've designed a system, you've already made a commitment to yourself now. You must keep it. Your system won't work unless you consistently show up and do the work, no matter how you feel. You might not always feel like executing your plan, but that's the point of the system. It forces you to act, even when your mind is telling you to quit, even when your body is telling you to relax. Real success doesn't come from comfort. It comes from pushing through discomfort, from following through when everything inside of you wants to bail. That's the discipline that wins. But here's the secret: there is no perfect system. The system that works today may not work tomorrow. So it's not about finding some magic formula that guarantees success. It's about creating something that makes you take consistent action, day in and day out, and then refining it. You refine it through feedback, through real results. Look at what's working and what's not. If something's broken, fix it. If something's not producing, change it. But never stop building. Never stop creating. When you design your own system, you're not just creating a routine, you're creating a life of purpose. A system that forces you into success, that drives you toward your goals with relentless momentum. And make no mistake, this is not an easy road. But if you're serious about getting results, if you're serious about breaking free from laziness and mediocrity, you have to start designing. Design your system. Own your process. Because in the end, the only way to beat laziness is to create a system that doesn't give you the option to be lazy. Execute relentlessly. These aren't just words you throw around to sound tough. They are a mindset, a code to live by if you want to break free from the chains of laziness and mediocrity. The world isn't going to give you a break because you had a bad day, or because you had a bad day, or because you're feeling unmotivated. Life doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care if you're tired, or if you're stressed, or if you're just not feeling it. The only thing life cares about is what you do, and that, my friends, is where execution comes in. Execution is where the rubber meets the road. It's easy to dream. It's easy to talk about your goals, your ambitions, and the future you want. But how many of you are actually putting in the work? How many of you are waking up every single day, regardless of how you feel, and executing the plan you've set for yourself? Talk is cheap. Execution is what separates the people who talk about success from the ones who actually achieve it. If you want results, you've got to stop waiting for the perfect moment, for the perfect mood, or for someone to cheer you on. The truth is, nobody cares. Nobody cares if you're tired, if you're frustrated, or if you're feeling down. Success doesn't wait for you to feel better. It rewards the ones who get up and do the work, no matter what. This relentless execution is where most people fall short. They'll have a great idea, they'll set big goals, and for a moment they're motivated, but motivation isn't enough. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like a wave, crashing hard one day and then gone the next. But your system, your work ethic, your relentless execution, that's what keeps the ship moving when the motivation dries up. It's about doing the work when you don't feel like it. It's about sitting down and putting in hours of grinding, even when everything in you is screaming to take a break. When the world tells you to stop, you keep going. When you hit a wall, you don't turn around and walk away. You figure out a way to break through it or go around it, but you never stop. Executing relentlessly means setting the pace for yourself. It means you don't let your circumstances dictate your progress. When you build a system, you lay down the framework for success. Now it's time to put that framework into action. Day after day, hour after hour, you execute. Every task, no matter how small, matters. It's all part of the system. It's all part of building the foundation of your success. And here's the kicker: the system will fail if you don't execute it relentlessly. It doesn't matter how well designed it is. It doesn't matter how much potential it has. If you aren't showing up every single day, if you aren't putting in the work, no matter how you feel, then that system is nothing more than a fantasy. The world doesn't care about your feelings, it cares about your actions. When you execute relentlessly, you send a message to the universe that you are not going to quit. You refuse to let laziness win. You refuse to be like the millions of others who sit around waiting for opportunities to fall into their laps. You are creating your own opportunities, and you don't wait. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for the right time. There is no such thing. The right time is right now. The right time is when you wake up and say, I'm going to execute today, and I don't care how I feel about it. I don't care if it's hard. I don't care if I'm exhausted. I'm going to execute relentlessly because I know that's what it takes. This isn't about getting it perfect. This isn't about waiting for everything to line up just right. It's about action. It's about consistently doing what needs to be done, even when you're not getting the results you want immediately. Execution is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. And the more you execute, the more momentum you build. The more momentum you build, the faster you reach your goals. It's a snowball effect that doesn't stop. But you have to be willing to commit to it day in and day out. The truth is, we all face challenges, we all face moments of doubt, we all feel the weight of obstacles standing in our way. But those who are truly successful are the ones who don't let those moments stop them. They don't let setbacks dictate their future. They rise above them, they push through, and they execute no matter what. Execution is the antidote to fear. When you're executing, you're too busy making progress to sit around feeling sorry for yourself. You're too busy grinding to let doubts take root in your mind. The reason most people never achieve anything meaningful is because they don't execute. They think about what they want, but they never do anything. They'll make excuses. They'll talk themselves out of it. They'll find reasons why it's not the right time or why they're not ready. But those who succeed know this: you will never feel ready. You will never feel like everything is perfectly in place. But you don't need to wait for the stars to align. You need to execute, and execute now. So I'll ask you this: what are you waiting for? What is stopping you from executing today? Don't waste another moment. You have everything you need to succeed right now. The only question is, are you willing to execute relentlessly? So here's the bottom line: execution is everything. It's the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. If you're waiting for motivation to strike or for the perfect moment to begin, you're wasting your time. Success doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It doesn't care about your excuses or your doubts. It rewards those who show up, who do the work, who execute relentlessly day in and day out. It's time to stop talking, stop waiting, stop letting laziness control you. Take control. Build your system, stick to it, and execute without hesitation. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the action you refuse to take. If you want to beat laziness, if you want to win, if you want to be the person you were meant to be, you must execute relentlessly. No more excuses, no more waiting, just action. Get to work and watch how your life begins to change.